Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. Continuing on college football week 5. Got another SEC matchup here. Georgia's on the road at Auburn. Line is currently Auburn plus 14.5. Total sitting at 47. Let's do it.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source.
So as you would expect, the public's all over Georgia here. This line does touch 15. In fact, I saw it all the way up at 15.5 on FanDuel yesterday. Seems to be settling in at 14.5 across the board. And if you look, public is definitely still on Georgia, but there is some Auburn action coming in, so it's not unanimous here. We'll keep an eye on the line moving forward. All right, so let's break this matchup down, and let's rewind back to 2017. Auburn beat Georgia badly, 40-17 at home at Auburn. They played again later that year in the SEC Championship. Georgia got their revenge. They beat them up pretty good, 28-7. Since then, it's been all Bulldogs. They've taken 5 in a row, 6 if you include that SEC Championship game in 2017, and they've pretty much all been decisive victories. In fact, only one of the last 6 games have been decided by 14 points or less, so it's been pretty one-sided and pretty dominant by Georgia here in this head-to-head matchup. Now, an angle you can use against Georgia, specifically Georgia's defense, is they haven't played a legitimate offense yet, and that is fair. I know we thought Spencer Rattler and that South Carolina offense was going to be elite this season, and they still might be. I mean, it's early. But as of right now, that offense is ranked just 45th. So Georgia has not seen an offense ranked in the top 44 yet. That being said, they're playing Auburn. Auburn's offense is all the way back at 76, and I feel that's being generous. UAB has a higher ranked offense than Auburn. If you look at this particular matchup over the years, I mean, Auburn's offense is moving in the wrong direction here. In fact, analytically, we're looking at the worst Auburn offense we've seen in the past few years. Now, it's still super early in the season, plenty of time for these numbers to change, but right now, this is looking like a huge mismatch in the favor of Georgia's defense. And they're getting guys back on that side of the field. A lot of people don't know this, but Georgia's been hit pretty hard with the injury bug. They had 14 scholarship players on the injury report last week. 2 big ones coming back on the defense. Mikael Williams, their edge rusher, he's back. He didn't play last week. And Javon Bullard, their safety, that's a big piece of that defense. He hasn't played in 2 weeks. He hasn't played since week 2. So now he's back. So that Georgia defense, obviously, still fine without those guys, but add 2 more key pieces back to the defense. And that goes for both sides of the football, because Ladd McConkey might be back as well for Georgia. People aren't even talking that Georgia's been playing this entire season without their number 1 wide receiver. Not only was this kid second-team All-SEC last year, but last time Georgia went on the road to Auburn back in 2021, this kid had a huge game. He had 5 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Like I said, hasn't played this year, but he just returned to practice on Monday, so he might be back. And the truth is, Georgia is going to want him out on the field for this one, because we can talk shit about the Auburn offense all we want. We can have a few jokes, laugh about it, but the Auburn defense is definitely no joke. Auburn's ranked 10th in effective pass this year, allowing just 171 pass yards per game, 5.9 yards per pass attempt. These are elite numbers. This pass defense is serious. Georgia getting their wide receiver 1 back before this game would be huge, a huge help for Carson Beck. And also, Georgia's offense just isn't running the ball like we're used to seeing. I mean, we've seen Georgia have an elite rushing attack every year for what seems like forever, right? Hasn't really been the case this year. Georgia's ranked just 64th in effective rush this season, 49th in rushing yards per game, 44th in yards per carry. So that's your angle if you like Auburn in this game. If you're betting Auburn, you're hanging your hat on that angle. Georgia's not running the ball that well this year, and you got Carson Beck making his first road start in Auburn against a good defense who's been great against the pass. So if you're on Auburn, I 100% see your angle here. Makes a lot of logical sense to take the 14.5. But here's the thing. Here's where I can't get there with Auburn. Their offense, Auburn's offense, is quite literally as bad as advertised. I know the final score of the Texas A&M game was 27-10, but Auburn's touchdown was actually a fumble return. This Auburn offense had 200 total yards and 3 points in that game against Texas A&M. Sure, Auburn's got a decent run game. They're averaging 4.6 yards per carry, 26 in rushing yards per game. But the only 2 decent defenses that Auburn's seen this year, Cal and Texas A&M, they did nothing in either of those games. Just 200 total yards in the Texas A&M game, like I said, 230 total yards against Cal. There's no way in hell I can bet this team with the offense performing like it is, which is why I'm on the Bulldogs here. If you're in the Discord, you already got in, or hopefully you did. Georgia minus 14. It was available on DraftKings for like an hour, and I sent it there, and I know a few people got in on it, but I still like them at 14.5. I'm in at Georgia minus 14, like I said, but I'm gonna wait it out, see what the line does. On Saturday morning, I might even double down and take Georgia again at 14.5 or wherever it's at. So I'll let you know on the live show Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. But I'm definitely on the Bulldogs here. If you want my top bets, parlays of the day, if you want to join our Discord, or if you want to get in on the NFL Against the Spread giveaway contest, make sure you head over to KyleKirms.com. All the information's right there on the homepage. College football week 5, not quite as loaded of a slate this week as it was last week, but still a lot of value betting-wise on the board here. Let's have ourselves a good weekend. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.